Hey, you don't need to be sneaking around to find out all my secrets. It's real simple. All you have to do is hit that subscribe button down below, and I'll tell you all the secrets from here inside the shop. So as you can tell, the chair is about ready to go for stain. You can see that we've already hit it with the 150 grit and the 220 grit. Ivan was the one that did a lot of this and found a few more little spots. We've buttoned those up, got it perfect. There is not a single spot, chip, scratch, dent, anything left on this. It is pristine and in museum level quality of restoration. Last and final step is using the sanding sponge. So this sponge is the last and final step that we do here at Moore's Refinishing to get the wood, what I call is polished up. There's something about the consistency of these sponges, and it only works with these yellow kind of soft foam sponges, not any of the thin or harder sponges you find at the big box stores. But what it does is when you go and sand it, it polishes up the last little bit of fibers that might be kind of sitting and raised, and by doing this you're going to bypass the possibility of getting a blotchy finish as soon as you put the stain on. So it's always ideal to go with the grain. As you can see, don't go cross grain here because you will leave marks. But we're sanding with this, and it's probably around a 320 grit, maybe a 300 grit. So it's not coarse at all, but it's just taking off any of those little fibers that are left over from the sanding process. And what it does too is it gives you the time and the ability to stare at the piece with your eyes up close. You're looking for any more dents or scratches, because if you do miss it, right now is the time you want to fix it. Don't wait until you have stain or on it, or if it's in the spray booth. You're going to take 2 steps forward and you're going to take 3 steps backwards if you do that. We are highly trained professionals here, as I've always mentioned, but you should be wearing a mask when doing this next step. But I'm not going to put one on right now, just so I can talk to you guys and describe to you what we're doing. First thing, cut a couple rags so that way you are ready to go. Any type of cleanup, anything splashes at you, at least you have the rags sitting here. And I said I prefer just your plain white rags. Do not buy colored. I don't like using them here. It's just possibility of the dyes from inside of the clothing. I've seen it happen before. The blacks and the purples, some of that ink could transfer onto the piece of wood. I've seen it a couple times in the last 20 years, so it's not very likely, but these have 0 chance of that doing it. So I'm trying to skip any type of headaches that we have here in the future. It's very important to make sure this is stirred up real well. There's sometimes sediment sitting at the bottom. That is part of the colorant. So if you don't do this, you're not going to have an even finish. So here at Moore's Refinishing, we like to go above and beyond for all of our customers. And for this one, I'm the customer, so we're going to definitely go above and beyond. But we stain inside these chairs, outside, tops and bottoms, places you don't think a customer is going to look, but I like to make sure it's done perfectly. So we're going to put this medium brown walnut stain on the surface. So you do that real quick, then get your dry rag, and you just dry it off real quick. And you can see, in a matter of a minute, this piece is going to look much better than having overspray or white marks, fingerprints from touching the stain on the inside. We've seen all of these poor refinishing decisions by other refinishers that I choose to do this because it's better for the customer. It's better for my own self too. I have a little OCD that this would bug me if I didn't do it right. So I'd like to we're going to go around this outside lip first before we flip it over. So for this, now that we've flipped it over, I'm going to use just a small chip brush. First, get inside of all of these little screw holes. Make sure we get proper application, because the rag is not an easy thing to use for all these little holes. We're going to go around it and just make sure that it's done properly before we use the rag. And you can see I have a clean rag here, wiping it off as I go so we don't get any messes dripping to the other side. We'll flip it over, we'll check it, make sure that there's nothing dripping, and then proceed back with the rag. You're going to see how beautiful this walnut veneer is. I'm just going around just double checking that I got all the spots, but then I'm going to get my clean rag once again and just do a final wipe down, get all the excess off. This is what's going to keep you from having blotchy finishes, is not letting it just sit on the surface. You're going to want to wipe on and wipe off. So we're gonna do one more wipe down, and then we have these custom hangers that we've made over the years. We're gonna screw those in to these holes, so that way we can hang it and spray all the sides at the same time. This will get us a better finish, no worried about tape lines or overspray. We will just be able to hang it up just like this, spray top and bottom, inside and out, and get it down the line much quicker. So I have 2 more panels to go. We're gonna get this one buttoned up and we'll let them dry for about an hour, and then we'll get them in the spray booth. We're now in the spray booth, and we're lucky that it is summertime. In the winter, we would let these stain, the stain dry overnight. It's been about 2 hours since, since the stain was put on. These are ready to go. We're just gonna blow them off, wipe them down one more time, and then get some sealer mixed in the gun. You wanna make sure you get all the dust out of all the little openings, the little crevices, the holes. It's just gonna make it a little easier when you're spraying the sealer. So now we're just gonna get a little sealer, which is already mixed in my gallon form. I'm gonna get it just a quick stir, make sure it's fully agitated. Pour it in the gun. I usually like to do about 3/4 full, less likely for it to spit out the top of the cup, drip, splash onto the pieces that we're spraying. Basically, we're trying to diminish any chances of an accident happening. I've seen them all here at the shop. 15 years, I have messed up every type of piece of furniture. The lid spilling, the lid opening, falling off. I step on the air hose and then it just shoots out of the spray gun. I said, I've done everything and I want to teach you, so you skip those steps and basically collapse time and follow the steps that I've created over the last 15 years. It's also important to wear a good paint mask. You don't want an N95 mask, does not hold up. You want the ones with the filters, the large cartridge filters. We're gonna throw this on. You're not gonna hear me talking much. We're gonna spray and get everything sealed so it dries overnight. We're gonna let that one dry overnight, come back tomorrow, and go on to the next steps. Once again, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below and the notification bell so you can follow along on this process before we do our speaking event August 2nd. We'll see you guys tomorrow.